Y'all like memes?
It's time
I love memes. Alright, I know what you guys are thinking. No, Peter, please don't leave. Please leave. Please don't leave. I don't go to get milk. My dad has been back in the store 12 days. Please. I'm sorry. It's gotta end. But I won't leave you. I'll always be around. Just like the crippling, unrelenting stress that dwells in every human soul. I'll never leave. So in the first video, I was kind of moistening you guys up a little bit, telling you about the history of Valve and Blizzard and their respective games and how they got to where they are today. In the second part, we focused a little bit more on the aesthetics of the game. The games, the maps, the characters, and the tutorials. In this part, I'm going to be talking about a few more things just to wrap everything up, and I'm not going to really talk about the communities, because that really doesn't have anything to do with the game itself. I know each game has its toxicity, but if I get just one more GG with a question mark after I lose a match in Overwatch, I am going to burn down a kennel. Jeez, that was dark. Remember in the last part where I talked about the maps and how each company utilized its assets to create its game? Of course you don't. You don't appreciate anything I do. Flank routes, choke points, high ceilings, low ceilings, spawn points. This is how a map is basically designed. Even if it has no color, it's just gray whatsoever, you need to focus on this to make a map good. Do you remember those S's that you used to draw in middle school and high school? Like I don't remember what it was called, but it's this. That's exactly how most TF2 maps are made. They always have like a choke point, but they always have like different flank routes, usually two different routes. You can go left, right, or straight, and it just flows together just beautifully into just a one big point. In every single control point map, there's almost always 3 or more different paths that you can take, and it just all flows together into splitting out and then coming back together. On us. Maps are so well optimized that there's never going to be really a point where you can't push forward. Unless you're defending the last point and your backs are against the wall and the spawns are right here, you can always keep pushing forward. Even if your team is literally the embodiment of an autistic child trying to shove a square block into a circle hole, you're gonna keep moving.
I'm at the fort! I'm at the fort!
Meds took 30, meds took 30.
Scout took 6 push.
Guys, watch my sick 360.
We like Fortnite.
We like Fortnite.
White.
What?
I like
All of you are shaking at this game. What are you doing?
I'm gonna break a bottle off inside of your mouth.
You guys are bad. I'm leaving the server. Fuck you
You
guys.
guys all suck.
Hey guys, look, I'm commander after we cyberbully him to death.
Now, how do I explain map flow in Overwatch? The maps are just so choky, they don't really expand on the nuances that each hero has. The only limitations that it places upon the heroes for flanking is basically, hey, how long do you want to hold W? I wish there were more maps like King's Row, where there are so many more different areas that only like Pharah, Widowmaker, Junkrat can get to. But more often than not, there's only just tiny ledges that you can go, and that's it. Like Temple of Anubis, they have areas where only Widowmaker can get to in that first choke point, but it's right down the choke point, and you just get blasted away like that. A lot of maps have flank routes, but they're so tiny that anyone that's just looking passively to the left or right can easily see someone and shut them down. Like, look at Hollywood. Look how small the flank route is. Why is it even there? All in all, Overwatch just has a bunch of choke points, and playing with inexperienced players can be really frustrating at times. With TF2, you can have a bunch of inexperienced players, but you can still get around and get people from behind. The fights in Overwatch just last 5 years. Like, you go through a battle, you go through a choke point, you win that battle, you go to the next choke point, you win a battle, you go to the next choke point, choke point, choke point, choke point, choke point. Wait, what is this? Some kind of crappy anime dialogue? And speaking of crappy anime dialogue, the amount of not suitable for work content out there for Overwatch is just outstanding.
No, unacceptable.
And I'm not saying that I've seen any of this. No, I'm just saying hypothetically, if I need to do research to cover this topic, I had to do a lot of research.
Oh my god! Look at all this
Swag.
The second that the trailer came out for this game, there was so much artwork made for the heroes that major naughty no-no sites had an increase of Overwatch searches by 800%. It got so bad that Blizzard actually had to step in and go, hey, Stop it, you horny bastards! Reports say that Blizzard issued a bunch of takedown notices for a bunch of Overwatch Happy Funtime videos because they wanted to keep the integrity of their T-rated game.
That's hot.
Now, compared to TF2, you just get a bunch of stuff like, it's not good. I can't show you it, but just trust me when I say that it's bad. So I hope when I say that it's not good, that you just believe me and you just it's not good. Just please. This isn't going to be counting towards points or anything. I just thought it was a really funny topic to talk about. So if you'd like to add the point to Overwatch in your mind, I guess I can't really stop you. Just go for it. Class mechanics. Oh my god, is he really talking about the characters again? Yes, I'm talking about the characters again, but they make up the game, so of course I'm going to be talking about them a lot. You could have the best backgrounds, the best music, the best sound, but if your characters are sounding like
Mr. President, don't
this,
come near. It's a trap.
It's not going to be a good game.
And the reason is, I'm the President of the United States.
Imagine if Far Cry 3 was made the exact same way, but the pirates sounded like, hey man, stop that. Your immersion for that game is just going to be completely gone. This time, we're going to be talking about the mechanics of each character. This section is only allowed for giant galaxy brains, so if you don't watch Rick and Morty 28 hours a day, get out. I'm sure there's a Minecraft Funny Moments video by PewDiePie that you can watch.
God.
Ooh boy. How many classes we got here?
32.
Alright. Now, I'm not really going to be going over what makes each hero unique, but I'll be general. Ultimates are charged over a period of time to 100% either passively or by healing or damage done. Ults are categorized into 4 realms, either cast time, transformation, channeled, or built. When you use your ult, it takes some time before the ult is casted. A channeled ult is basically when you use it, you can't use any of your weapons or any of your abilities. Everything is channeled into the ult. Transformation ults are any ults that basically change your stats or your teammates' stats. Built, like all the other ults, is very self-explanatory. It doesn't get used until the ult is built. This is usually a barrier of some kind or some field like Baptiste's Matrix. If you get interrupted, like killed or pushed around, or decide to cancel the ult before it's actually built, you don't lose your percentage and you still have your ult. Each hero has different abilities as well outside their weapons, like some sort of shield, a boost of mobility, or some sort of second weapon that they can use, and each time you use it, it has a certain amount of cooldown before you can use it again. The mobility for all the heroes is pretty consistent, but strafing in the air is almost non-existent. This unfortunately makes a very low skill ceiling for a lot of the heroes, and it doesn't take that much time to learn the mechanics of each hero. Almost all of the heroes basically fall under the category of easy to learn, but it's not that really hard to master. The only thing that really separates the pros from the casuals in the competitive scene is basically learning how to use your class in a team composition.
I have PTSD.
I can know all the mechanics of the classes like the back of my earlobe, but if I don't know when or how to use the character, then it's all for nothing. If there's something new that you learn about a hero, it doesn't take that much time to learn it. For example, Junkrat's mines. It didn't take that long to realize that you can just set the mine at your feet, detonate it, and it launches you forward. And again, it doesn't take you that much time to figure out how far you can go and how high you can go and really when to use it. Now, on the flip side, TF2 has such a high skill ceiling for each of their classes that you can play the game for hundreds of hours, but you can still learn something new. The mobility of each class is so slick and floaty that you can move around so well, smoother than a baby's ass. Everything made in the game is created so you can have as much mobility as possible. There are so many videos out there that go deep into what each character can do, so I'll just go over the basics. Oh, remember, only Galaxy Brains allowed. If you're not a Galaxy Brain, go watch Fortnite dances on loop. I don't care what you do, just you can't be here.
I'm busy spoiling myself.
On the top speed, it goes Scout, and then tied for second is Spy and Medic, and then Sniper, Engie, and Pyro are tied, the Demo Man, the Soldier, and then the Heavy. And then you have different weapons that change how fast or how slow you go. And the Strafing, oh my god, the Strafing, it's so smooth and slick, it's like skating through the remnants of the people that bullied you when you were going through middle school. Like, it's so hard to explain in words how everything works. So I'm just gonna show you a video right here by this cool dude named Solarlight. So did you catch all that? I'm just going to break it down and explain what's going on here. Solarlight is using a weapon called the Loose Cannon, which is basically as soon as you hit left click, the fuse for the cannonball inside the weapon is lit. He's holding left click for so long that as soon as he shoots it, it explodes right in front of him, and the explosion launches him forward. So with all that momentum that he has, he can basically take any incline that he has and just use that to propel him forward even farther. It's kind of like those catapult flash games that you used to do in 2008, that when you launch it and you hit a trampoline or something, it keeps you moving forward. It's kind of the same thing. Both games have a very vast difference of what each class can do and how it moves. But in this case, TF2 definitely wins in the realm of class mechanics. Overwatch, again, it's just one-dimensional. Each hero has one purpose and only one purpose only. But in TF2, the amount of different things that you can learn from each class is so extensive. And I'm not talking about perfecting the classes, I'm talking about all the new things that you can learn within each class or hero. TF2 has jumping, surfing, combine the two and you got jerfing, you've got pogo, you've got bunny hopping, and the list goes on. The mobility and the mechanics that TF2 has is unmatched. This next section is only for true gamers only, because we're going to be talking about the competitive scene. But for the competitive aspect, we're only going to be focusing on the in-game competitive part. I'm not going to be focusing on prize pools or LANs or tournaments of each of the games, because that'd be kind of comparing having a cold and still having to go into work, and then being naked and lying face down in Chernobyl. Now, I don't believe that I've had Overwatch long enough to really go in depth about the competitive scene of Overwatch, so I'm going to let my really good and close friend Max SW Clutch talk about it. I see your beautiful face, but I don't see it.
I am pretty cute. Hey, how you doing, man?
Not too bad, not too bad. I guess my first question, Fortnite streamer SW Clutch. What? I want to know a little bit about your Overwatch experience.
I've been playing Overwatch for a couple of years, so I've got a couple hundred hours, and I've almost played every single season. Every single one. Reached Diamond, fell off into Plat again.
Attaboy, attaboy.
But,
when you were in Diamond, how long did it usually take for you to load into a game?
for tank, obviously it takes 2 minutes to 5.
Yeah.
But DPS wait times, yeah, I'm not surprised if I wait in queue for 8 to 10 minutes at a time.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
How many times are you put into a game where the rest of your team has absolutely no idea what they're doing?
I hate to be that guy,
But a lot.
maybe I'm one of those people who thinks, yeah, my IQ's so large, man, I know everything. You guys doing what I'm thinking. But yeah, honestly, the team cohesion is definitely a major problem with playing with randoms. So
yeah. So that leads into my next question. How toxic are people in the game? People take it really, really seriously in Diamond. I'll be honest, I get toxic sometimes. It's absolute idiots. Your playstyle is feeding. What are you talking about? Such a shit tier play. I'm pissed.
You don't even know it, man. When I flank, get 2 picks, and I'm sitting there, all right, push in, and the shield tank refuses to move forward, I be sitting there why are you even playing shield tank if you're not about to move up? What's the point?
All right, thanks for coming out, man. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for helping. Anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
You should watch my stream.
All right, yeah. Watch your stream. What is it?
It's
That's
SW
cool. Nobody
Clutch.
cares. Okay, good night. Bye. No one cares. Give my boy SW Clutch some love. Give him a sub. Give him a follow. I'm going to be leaving his Twitch in the description below. Okay, now TF2's competitive. Okay, let's be serious. Let's be serious. Oh. Just give Overwatch the point. Just give Overwatch the point. You know, just give him 2 points. Just give him 2. They absolutely obliterate TF2 in competitive. Just
double kill.
This video is getting a little bit lengthy, so I'm just going to be rolling this into like a lightning round. It's going to be pretty specific. I'm just going to quickly go through each topic that I really couldn't expand upon. Let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. Let's get the show. All right. Character trailers. TF2 has pretty consistent character trailers. Besides Meet the Medic and Meet the Pyro, they've all come out pretty much relatively the same time. For the time that they were made, they still hold up to today. My favorite Meet the Class is still going to be Meet the Spy.
With a society!
Every Meet the Class trailer shows what the classes can do, their weapons, what their motives are, what their personality is as well. The only downside is that there's no connective lore between each Meet the Class. It's more focused on in the comics. Overwatch doesn't have trailers for all of their heroes, but they're still beautifully made. Unfortunately, the trailers for the classes only focus on really their personality somewhat. They don't really focus on what the classes can do. But that doesn't mean that I still don't like them. My favorite trailer by far is the recent Sigma trailer. And it has limited animation, but the music, the voice acting, it's so good that I think it blows every other trailer out of the water. It doesn't really show what his class does, but it shows how he became
Ligma.
But it only really focuses on his personality. It doesn't really show what he does as a class. Unfortunately, I don't think the animation and artwork alone can really push Overwatch ahead of TF2. I think that TF2 has a slight leg up over Overwatch in the trailers. Loot crates and microtransactions. I'm going to be straight to the point with this. TF2, without a doubt, definitely is the winner here when it comes to loot crates and microtransactions.
You failed!
TF2 basically has it set up to where you can buy or sell anything at any time you want. As long as it's tradable, you can trade it for other items, sell it for in-game currency, or you can sell it for actual money. Overwatch, all you can do is just open up the loot crates and just cross your fingers that you get that legendary skin that you wanted, and just pray that it's not a duplicate that you already got. The same thing can happen with crates in TF2, but again, if you want a specific item, you can just go out and get it. You don't have to have a random chance of getting what you want. Again, TF2 definitely wins in the realm of microtransactions and loot crates. Editor's note. I don't know if I took 15 bottles of Adderall and Zoloft and huffed it with a can of Febreze and piss, but I neglected to mention that you can get Overwatch coins to buy the items you want. The only exception is that some items are only available from certain times of the year, or if you bought a special version of Overwatch. The issues I mentioned about getting duplicates only really pertain to players with less than 50 hours, because once you play the game enough, you get enough currency to buy anything you want. Also, if you want a specific item in TF2, you have to wait for the item to actually get uncrated first, and the person that uncrates it has to want to sell it. Very sorry about that slip up. Unfortunately, I was born with a square brain. Now back to your premium content. All right, so player numbers. Let's go. Let's pick it. Let's pick it up. As I covered partially in part 1, Overwatch definitely has a lot more players than TF2 does. While Blizzard does not release the number of players that each game has at any given time, it's still very clear that Overwatch has a lot more player interaction. TF2 is a 12-year-old game. It only makes sense that it's on its last leg. The amount of times that I've been put into a game where I don't have a full team is too many to count. Like sometimes I'm put into a map that is just a 1v1, and the map is already half over, and by the time that all the people load in, it's barely even a 6v6. Sorry, TF2, you're out of your league on this one. Speaking of being out of their league, updates. TF2, I get it, you used to update a lot, multiple times a year in fact. But the last major update that TF2 had was in October 2017 with the Jungle Inferno update, and before that, May 2016 with the Meet Your Match update. Some people qualify the Blue Moon update in 2018 as a major update, but nah, I don't really qualify. That's kind of like a patch update. Overwatch is still a relatively fresh game. And TF2, you're just a schizophrenic grandpa at this point. Now go over there. No. The jar of piss is not. Next topic, comedy. Overwatch is definitely not known for its comedic presence, but TF2, oh, the memes. I love memes. Also, the voice lines in TF2 are so much better. They're a lot more creative than Overwatch is. When the demo man gets a domination on someone, he says this voice line.
They're going to bury what's left of you in a soup can.
When Junkrat gets a final blow on someone, he says this.
You're blowing up!
I get it. 'Cause he likes to blow things up. Next one, lack of hackers. I don't really have to say anything. I'm just gonna show you this.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Just look at, just give the point to Overwatch. Hong Kong. TF2 has Hong Kong. There, I said it. I said the joke. Are you happy now? Mods and customizations. PC gaming always has been and always will be the pinnacle of gaming. I'm not going to be talking about how PC is better than console. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about how PC is better than console. We're not talking about that. But only PC is packed to the brim with customizable content. That is, if your game allows it.
Stop!
Like I said in the previous part, I think the only reason why there's no mods or customization in Overwatch is the same reason why there's no community-made maps, because they want to keep their pristine image intact. Now, I'm not talking about things like Overfighter or different things like that. No, I'm not talking about that. No. I said, I'm talking about visual changes like weapons, HUDs, or view models. If I want to have a SpongeBob model with anime babes running around as the enemies while I have a fidget spinner as my weapon while I default dance on your corpse, damn it, I should be able to do that. So TF2 definitely wins in the realm of mods and customization. It was close, but it looks like TF2 made it out on top 8-7. TF2, despite its flaws, its lack of updates, its lack of tutorials, and the lack of competitive scene, it's still an amazing game, damn it. There's a reason why this game has been going strong all these years. Maybe not strong, maybe impregnable. Thank you, dictionary.com. The only reason why my essays are a C and not a C-. Overwatch is still an amazing, fantastic game, and I'm going to constantly be playing it into the unforeseeable future. But I'm sorry, your purple lady and thick robots weren't enough to push you ahead. I think this goes without saying. If you prefer to play Overwatch over TF2, that's perfectly fine. You're allowed to play what you like, and I don't have a vendetta against you.
Stop! You violated the law!
But you got this far, so you definitely stayed around for some reason. I know it's not for my luscious, sexy multiple chins, that's for sure. Thank you everyone that has watched my Overwatch vs TF2 series, and I'm looking forward to what the future brings. I'll be playing my next game and research on Twitch, where you can find in the description below. And here's a little preview of the intellectual comments that I make while playing video games. I hope the person that made this watches anime while his parents come into his room, so they realize how much of a disappointment he truly is. I also have a Twitter that's absolute trash. It's like 30% updates and 70% it's just garbage. So if you like that, it's there. If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button so that you'll be able to know when I upload next. And just take that thumbs up and just cram it up the rear end of your enemies. And don't forget to share this with your friend so they can finally realize the horrible choice they made when they first decided to talk to you all those years ago. Again, thank you so much for watching my video. It means so much to me that you stuck around this long. And I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace out.